Representative White to close on the bill.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman and members, and I want to thank all the great people who survived today. You got to look at the legislature probably more than you wanted. Some of you up here are up here a lot, so it was just old hat. On a wrap, and this is just a point of I want to make here. Over the past few years I've been in this body, I've heard a lot about local control, and I'm just going to put this out here. Local control, and I think I know what folks are meaning. I don't think they mean anything nefarious when they say local control. But it's important for folks to know that at one point in time in this particular country, local control was really localized tyranny of possibly the majority. And that's something everyone needs to remember here. And even those of us that may be on the right side of the spectrum, we tend to use the term states' rights. That's not really in the Constitution. It's powers that are reserved to the states. It's not states' rights. And this is what I'm saying. We have a civil society. States are not some type of independent jurisdictions that just do what they want to do and run roughshod over folks. And cities and counties are not the same. When my mother said that this country is prosperous, she meant the whole country. She meant all 50 states. She meant all the cities. She meant all the counties. Not just you can get a majority, and if you can get a majority today, that means you win. That's called tyranny. And much of what we are hearing today when we talk about local control throughout this chamber, from cities and counties, and yes, from states, has nothing to do with the Constitution. It has nothing to do with civility. It all has to do with I have the votes, and if I have the votes, I can run roughshod over people. Let me finish. And this is what's really at stake here. These people have had businesses for years, for decades. I'm not going to go back millennia. For decades. And just because some people, and we're talking about economic rights, we're talking about economic liberty. The role of government, I thought, in this country was to protect and preserve the rights of the most of us that do the right thing. That was the role of government. So what I like to know, what I like to really focus on is not so much local control, which what I hear most of these days is really organized local tyranny to run roughshod over people, whether it's people paying their property taxes. In this instance here, where people just want to continue to do what they've always had the legal right to do. So instead of local control, it really should be local discretion, local responsibility, and local constitutionality. And I will extend that even to the state. When folks get up and say, this is states' rights, this is states' rights, we have what we, in this country, what we call a constitution. We answer to a rule of law. So we had a period of time in this country where if you just had the votes and you had the power, you could run roughshod over people. And what I see going on in this state and in this country now, because people can get the votes, it's not even local control. It's high-tech slavery. And I'm just up to here with it. And it's even on the state level, too. We just do what we want to do because we're the state. Well, no, we have a constitution. It's not necessarily states' rights, it's states' powers that are reserved but we're still supposed to exercise those powers even as a state legislature under the Constitution. And not one person that spoke today, I respect your right to be here, but not one person spoke today can literally tell me where in the Constitution, where in basic natural right, that it gives you the right to put people out of business. And you know this. So I'm just going to leave it like this. The committee can do what they wish with this bill. Okay? And those of you in these various groups and movements, you can continue maneuvering around the state, doing what you do. But you should remember what an old coach has always told me when I was growing up. One night, we would have a real good night, members. We would giggle and laugh at the other team because they couldn't dribble, they couldn't shoot. And we're laughing all the way back to the school. And the coach would tell us, the same thing that make you laugh tonight, next week will make you cry. When you meet a real team that can show it with more than you. So I end this with, it's not about local control, it's about local discretion, it's about local responsibility, it's about local constitutionality, and it's about civil society. I close.